order. Roll call has been taken. Present are Annabelle Coswell, Brendan Hyde, on Zoom, Chris Siri and Pete Chalecki, Dean Nason and Rick Morrell. Also, from the city engineer, city planner and wetland agent, Dan Deniska, and Catherine Rose, recording secretary. Does anyone wish to comment on the meetings from the minutes from the meeting from July 10th? Is there a motion to approve?
This is Chris, so moved.
Pete, second.
There is a second motion on the table. All in favor?
Chris, aye.
Aye.
Pete, aye.
Abstention. So approved. Communications?
Just one, the pond at 289 New London Turnpike is going to be treated on the 12th of this month.
Okay. That's for algae growth.
Yeah, I think it's the 5th time this summer. I think they're
Every other year or
their
so.
notification. Yeah.
Old business, IWWCC number 2504, 3 Sabrina's Court.
This is an application of a new single-family home in the Upland Review area. It's an application of David Smith, Dependable Contracting LLC, property of Jonathan Graff, Assessors Map 3, Block 1, Lot 8, Zone R40. And David's online if he wants to speak to the application.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Try that.
Okay, sorry about that. I'm not real familiar with this. Yeah, I'm just sitting in on the meeting in case there were any questions. I believe we have the site plan that we created meets all the requirements as far as the city and wetlands should be concerned, I hope. And that was really it. I'm just sitting here in case there's anything anybody needs to hear.
How close are we? We're within 100 feet.
Yeah, so this line here is the Upland Review line. It's the whole house, the driveway, most of the septic. Then this is the conservation area, restricted area. I don't know if you remember a few years ago, we had the house across the street, 2 Sabrina's Court. It's the same kind of situation. They had that pond next to it and the wetlands are back here. So this is an approved lot from the subdivision, but it's been so long, they got to come back for a new wetlands permit.
Any comments from the city engineer?
Minimal comments. I can go through that if you'd like. Talk about utility connections, putting drains. It asked the ENS control, and this is in my memo too, be updated to reflect the newest guidelines. To add wings to the silk fencing. And then I can go through my memo real quick. As I mentioned before, it was approved in 06. They do have their material stockpile location outside of the upland area. There's no anticipated long-term impacts to the wetlands. Home and the septic tank system are in the upland review. Just note that after the presentation, you need to determine if a public hearing is necessary, and that would be for next month on September 4th. The only comments I got back were from the city engineer. I just asked that they be addressed on the revised plan set after tonight. It's located in an area of moderate sensitivity for archaeological resources. So if they find anything on site, we just have a note in my memo here to contact city staff. I spoke to the city engineer about a bond, an ENS bond. It's $1,800. And I just asked to waive the reading of all my bullet points here, but they be included in any motion that may be made for approval. And as usual on the record, if you just state that the proposed DNS controls are sufficient to protect wetlands.
Okay.
If someone so chooses.
And were there any other points that you want?
Not really. It's just a typical house construction. They've got silk fencing, clearing limits. We're pretty good with it, really.
Any questions of staff?
It's just hard to see.
Yeah.
So the septic's in the front, right? Okay, there
Yep.
it is. Yep.
Yep.
And so the well would be, must be to the back of that.
Excuse me, there's no well, it's gonna be city water. City water is gonna come in off a plain hill road.
It's right, the water up to the
Yeah,
start
it's
line.
right here.
Goes as far as that. Okay. Dan, have you been on site?
Yes.
There's a lot of Russian olive in that conservation. I know it has nothing to do with this permit, but I just wonder if you should have any concern with that at all. From a wetland standpoint, no, but from a conservation standpoint,
Well, that's part of your charge.
it is
too,
part of our
so.
charge. And so from a wetland standpoint, everything seems to be recognized. I personally wouldn't mind if during this construction, monitored by staff, if some of the Russian olive and invasives were cleaned out of that conservation. Sign of good faith. It would help the owners eventually.
I don't have a problem clearing out any invasives that are clearly visible and inside the scope of work area. I don't want to go too far into the conservation area. But I don't have a problem clearing out anything that is, blatantly visible. Like, I don't have a problem grubbing that all out.
We work on staff with that. I just think it's a good opportunity.
Okay.
During site construction.
And we'll provide them with the conservation signage that they have to post along that
That'd
area.
be good. Yeah. It's in conversation with other neighbors in that area. As houses change, they're not aware of the conservation, so.
Any other questions or comments?
This is Chris, none at this time.
Okay, so is there a motion to determine whether or not this is a significant activity which would require a public hearing?
Hi, this is Chris again. Yeah, I would move that this does not require a public hearing.
Pete, second.
Chris and Pete, we have a motion on the table. We're not requiring a public hearing.
And it was seconded, so just to, I don't know where people got cut off. We
Yeah, I
lost our,
think, I think we lost, the city. I think we lost your account, but,
Yeah.
Pete did second it.
Okay, all in favor?
Chris, I.
Pete, I.
Okay, unanimous, so moved. So next we need to have a motion to either approve or not IWWCC number 24 with whatever requirements staff has listed.
I move to approve IWWCC 25-04 with staff conditions and the note made here this evening to remove any invasives during construction. It's feasible working with staff.
And to follow the ENS procedures as outlined by staff. Is there a second?
Pete, second.
All in favor?
Chris, I.
Pete, I.
Annabelle, I.
Dean, I.
Brandon, I.
Unanimous, so moved. Next is IWWCC 25-06 20 Lawler Lane.
yep, this is an application for construction of a new elementary school building and a development at the site of a current school. Proposed land disturbance activities within an upland review area. Application and property of the city of Norwich, assessors map 38, block 1, lot 72, zone R80. And we have people from the design team online to present.
Hello, good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Very good. My name is Jim Barrett. I'm principal with Drummy Rosane Anderson. Our offices are located at 205 Oakland Road, South Windsor, Connecticut. We are the architect and design team lead for the Moriarty Elementary School located at 20 Lawler Lane, Norwich, Connecticut. The proposed school is located at the current Moriarty school site. It will be constructed while maintaining the existing school activities. When completed, the proposed new two-story, approximately 81,600 square foot school will serve approximately 550 grades pre-K to 5 students. We're pleased to share tonight's presentation focusing on the proposed land disturbance activities within the upland review area with the Inland Wetlands Watercourses and Conservation Commission. And our team's site and civil engineers will identify the key aspects of this work. And with that, I'd like to introduce Kevin Fusilier, Senior Principal Landscape Architect of SLR, to introduce the SLR team and to share this important information.
Good evening. I would like to share my screen, but first I'll start by introducing the team. As Jim mentioned, with me tonight is Glenn Martin, Senior Landscape Architect, Tom Daly, he's our U.S. Service Line Director of Engineering Design, Austin Dowd, an Associate Civil Engineer, and Megan Fogarty, Project Environmental Scientist. If I do have permission, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And let's see. Did that work? Doesn't look like it. Let's try that again. All right.
There you go.
Okay, excellent. I just want to start by giving a brief overview of the site project. And then I will pass it off to Austin Dowd to speak about storm drainage. What you see on the screen is an aerial image with our topographic survey and site survey on top of it. North is to the bottom right, towards the home plate of the ball field. To the right side of the page is Canterbury Turnpike. To the south of the page is Lawler Lane. Sorry, tongue-tied. Austin, would you like to speak briefly just about the existing storm drainage and how it ties into the flagged inland wetlands to the top left of our page?
Yes, thanks, Kevin. So you will see here in dark blue is the existing storm drainage on site. And currently it picks up the bus loop along with the roof drainage for some school. And there are a couple catch basins in the rear of the school for the play fields. Currently it discharges via 18-inch RCP adjacent to the wetland, which was formerly city parkland, now which has been transferred to school property. So that is the only formal drainage on site for the whole site, besides a existing rain garden, which is in the center of the bus loop. A majority of the stormwater reaches this discharge. There is some overland flow that sheds back kind of to the north or the right and kind of like upper right from the existing school towards Canterbury Turnpike. And there is a existing drainage, like ditch, swale that runs along the road that kind of collects most of this runoff. And the existing school is about at elevation 299 with it. The front parking lot does drain straight onto Lawler Lane. There is no formal stormwater that catches this water. It drains right onto the road. And just to cover the other utilities for the existing conditions real quickly, they all go to Lawler Lane. They all connect to the mains and the facilities in Lawler Lane. Nothing goes out to Canterbury Turnpike. The existing storm drainage on site is just basically catch basins and piping. That's it.
Thank you, Austin. So now what you see is a rendered site plan of the proposed improvements. The proposed improvements include updated parking and circulation patterns. You have the primary parking lot and parent drop-off, which is separate from a bus drop-off, and then emergency access and loading dock and trash collection at the rear of the building. All the entry points of the school are accessible. We have expanded outdoor learning and play areas, split up for pre-K playground, 5 to 12 playground. We have additional lawn play areas and paved play areas. So expanded outdoor learning spaces as well. There will be new stormwater controls, which we'll go over, and substantial new landscaping.
Kevin.
And again, we're here tonight because of this upland existing wetland and the activities proposed in the upland review area. I did want to note before I pass it along to our civil engineers again, we received review memos from the city engineer. We've already been working on those comments with the city engineer and Dan Deniska to address everything. And we're certain that all the comments received will be addressed to the satisfaction of the city. And
Kevin,
with that,
can you
okay.
zoom in on your screen because it's really small on the video board here?
I apologize. And if you want me to go back to the previous one, please let me know. If there's anywhere specific you want me to zoom in, just feel free to interrupt any one of us and I will be controlling what you see on the screen. Is that better? Because I'm pretty zoomed in now. I don't know what you're seeing exactly.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. So as mentioned, I'm going to pass this over to our civil engineers to review our storm drainage approach and sediment and erosion controls. So I'll start here, but again, just tell me to zoom in when needed.
All right. Just for everybody's reference, you can see utility legend down on the bottom right-hand corner. It's a little cut off, but just for everybody's reference, orange is stormwater, blue is water, green is sanitary, all just for your reference. So we tried to maintain existing watersheds, as I discussed earlier, tried to maintain where the water is going now and tried to keep it that way while reducing flows. So we are decreasing or have no increase for peak runoff rates for the 2, 10, 25, 50, and 100-year storms. And we are accomplishing that via, Kevin, if you scroll up a little bit, the main way we are accomplishing that is this underground system. So that is 132 chambers of retained concrete under underground galleys. So basically big concrete Lego blocks. And that is how we are providing detention on the site and some water quality features. That is what is doing most of the work on site. Besides that, we also have, if we scroll back down, we also have two, oh, sorry, touch just the middle of the sheet. We also have two rain gardens, and one is in the bus loop, kind of right there. And we also have another rain garden to the left near the 5 to 12-year-old playground, right at the base of that slope. So those are the main features of the stormwater design outside of the catch basin and the necessary piping. We do have a couple catch basins that connect to Lawler Lane, just for ease, but that is, once again, we are reducing flows to Lawler Lane, and we are showing some storm drainage along the ditch or swale, kind of along Canterbury Turnpike, because we are adding two driveways just to kind of ease and long-term viability of that swale and kind of providing maybe a better solution. As you can see, the outlet for this underground is right adjacent, right along the existing pipe and the existing wetland. So we are extending it a little further because to pick up grade, so that way we can daylight the underground system. And when we do this work, we are going to install the new pipe, remove the existing pipe, and as you can see, it's a pretty tight window. We are not trying to do a lot of work adjacent to this wetland corridor. Just to go over water quality, we will have a hydrodynamic separator of gradient of the underground, and we will have water quality kind of isolator row, water filtration row in the underground to capture kind of the first inch of runoff, and it's usually oils, sand, grit that are usually accompany the first inch of runoff. And once again, all the other utilities are pretty straightforward. They all connect to the existing facilities out in Lawler Lane. And one item, I know Jim touched on it earlier, is that the two schools at one point will be standing next to each other. So the stormwater and all the other utilities were designed with that in mind for that kind of interim phase. And to jump over, I think we can jump over to the sediment erosion control plan. So once again, a couple more colors, but this meets the 2024 Connecticut guidelines for soil erosion and sediment control, along with the city regulations. It's kind of really been designed to kind of minimize construction impacts, of course. We have a lot of standard S&E features like sediment traps, diversion berms, silt fence, hay bales, construction entrances, inlet protection. But the plan is for the activity within the upland review area should be minimal. It should be pretty quick, right? We are installing the new pipe. We are removing the existing pipe. We're doing a touch of grading over the new pipe, and then we're stabilizing. And we're installing the riprap scour hole. It should be a pretty short duration kind of construction activity in that portion of the site. And once it's stabilized, nobody should ideally go back. So I guess I will pass back to Kevin and Megan.
Yep, so our final presenter will be Megan Fogarty, and she will talk about the flagged wetlands and our impacts to them.
Hello, Megan Fogarty with SLR. I'm a wetland professional in training, filling in tonight for Matt Sanford, professional wetland scientist and registered soil scientist. So Matt and I were out here to delineate the wetlands. Initially, we were only looking at the school parcel, and we came back and said there were no wetlands. And then we found out that we needed to discharge stormwater to the formerly city-owned parcel. So we extended our study area, as you can see in the yellow dash line, and came across that wetland and a little bit of intermittent water course leading away from it to the southwest. And so As we sort of already talked about, Austin touched on this. The only work occurring near the wetland is that pipe replacement. There's no direct wetland impact. There's no impact to the adjacent water course either. And we don't expect any impacts to hydrology downstream. As you can see, it does lead into a wetland fully offsite. And there are no impacts anticipated. I also just wanted to quickly touch on the sorry, before I do that, just for the record, the work within the upland review area is 6,210 square feet. As you can see there. And obviously the direct wetland activity is 0 square feet. But just to sort of compensate for any, minor unanticipated impacts, and to enhance the site's function, and also educational value, those rain gardens will be planted with native wetland vegetation that are pollinator friendly and provide that educational touch of rain gardens. So again, open to any questions. There's a lot more detail in our soil report, but to keep it brief, I think that sums it up. So I will turn it back over to Jim. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Megan. And that concludes our portion of the presentation. Certainly, we're happy to take any questions that you may have for our team.
Just a question about the subgrade retention chambers. What are they rated for? Is that a 100-year storm without outlet?
Yes, the outlet is designed for the 100-year storm and designed for all storms up to that.
To that, yep. And has there been any perk tests done on the soil in place?
So we did do soil testing at the start of the design, and it came back kind of reasonable, but not great. There likely is not any infiltration capability of the soils. There was some modeling, some staining of the soil due to how high groundwater, and there is groundwater on site.
In this area, so this isn't a chamber system with crushed stone underneath it. It's simply a chamber area because of the water.
Yeah, unfortunately, it just you would start to fill up with groundwater or have the potential to.
Understand. Thank you.
Chris, any questions?
No, not this time. I went over the wetland assessment drainage, thought they were good reports.
Pete, any questions?
No, looks good.
On your Lego water trap, I imagine that you're going to collect sediment there. Is there a process for cleaning that out periodically?
Yes. So there is a couple kind of manholes, inlet kind of grates that we should be able to, you kind of get a vac truck in there and you just kind of back it out. And it should be isolated to the first kind of row, the sediment.
Any further comments? Dan?
Yep. We've been working with the team all along, so I don't really have a great deal of comments. We got comments back from the city engineer. As they mentioned, they've been working on some updates to the plan for that between wetlands and CCP approval. They did talk about staging. I mean, the existing school has to be functioning while they're building it, so it's a delicate dance. And then I believe all my other comments have already been addressed or will be on the revised plan set. So I would just say that, just include my notes here for my memo. I'd like to ask to waive the reading of that, and the proposed DNS controls are sufficient to protect the wetlands on that portion of the site. Certainly with their notes. Yeah, yeah. You already determined when you received these, I think you already voted on not having public hearing.
Right, so there's no need to.
Yeah,
just,
that's already taken care of
So
last
just
meeting.
a motion to approve or not.
to approve IWWCC 25-06 with staff notes.
It's a motion on the table. Is there a second?
Pete,
For a
second.
second,
All in favor?
Dean, aye.
Chris, I.
Pete, aye.
Rich, aye.
Mr. Chairman.
Unanimous, so approved. Thank you, guys and lady.
Oh, no, they're here for the next
Here we
hearing.
go. Yep.
Don't go anywhere yet.
IWWCC 2507, 280 Elizabeth Street Extension. Same group.
Well, again, I'll kick off our team. Thank you again for your focus and your attention with our first presentation. Once again, my name Jim Barrett, Drummy Roseanne Anderson, 205 Oakland Road, South Windsor. Again, we are the architect and design team lead for the Uncas Elementary School located at 280 Elizabeth Street Extension in Norwich. The proposed school is located, as was the Moriarty, at the current Uncas School site and will be constructed while maintaining existing school activities. When completed, the new 3-story, approximately 85,600 square foot grades pre-K to 5 school will serve approximately 550 students. We're pleased to share this presentation focused on the proposed land disturbance activities within the regulated wetlands and associated upland review area with IWWCC. Our team site and civil engineers once again will take it, so I'm going to hand it off here to Kevin and we'll move forward.
All right. This will be a very similar presentation to the one you just heard. So I'll start by sharing my screen. All right. Can everyone see the existing aerial topographic
can.
survey?
Yes.
All right. Excellent.
Man,
Again, for the record, my name is Kevin Fuselier, licensed landscape architect, senior principal with SLR International Corporation, 99 Realty Drive, Cheshire, Connecticut. My team with me is Glenn Martin, senior landscape architect, Tom Daly, professional engineer, U.S. Service Line Director of Engineering and Design, Austin Dowd, professional engineer, associate, civil engineer, and Megan Fogarty, project environmental scientist.
Kevin, you zoom in.
Yep, I don't know why it's not showing my full screen, so I apologize for that. So you can see, is that better? Or do you want me to go further?
Yep, that's fine.
Okay, so the existing site, you see the school which will be demolished, but only after the construction of the new school. Pretty much every other site feature out here will be demoed. The existing wetlands that were flagged on site are shown in turquoise. Their 100-foot upland review is in magenta. And then I will let Austin speak to the existing storm drainage, which is shown in blue.
All right. Yeah, so as Kevin mentioned, the existing storm drainage on site is in blue. It mainly captures the bus loop, kind of main driveway, along with the parking lot and the roof drainage, along with some drainage for the asphalt playground and the other playgrounds and to the rear of the school. And they discharge to one of the intermittent water courses up on the plan, but east in reality. And there's no formal drainage or water quality features, retention, any items like that on site. It's just strictly catch basins and piping. The site generally slopes from the right side of the page to the left. And that is, the right side is at elevation 176. It kind of slopes down all the way to 152. A majority of the water is in one watershed, It slopes down from kind of the right, the bottom side of the page towards the school, kind of hits a low spot and kind of goes towards the wetlands. There is one watershed kind of near Allen Avenue to the north for the main driveway. Some water goes that way. And that's a relatively small watershed that we are virtually doing minor work in. And the third watershed is towards the main entrance and part of the parking lot and kind of that wooded area to the left of the bus loop. That kind of goes out towards Elizabeth Street extension and to the left. For the existing utilities on site, sewer does come from Elizabeth Street and connects to the school. Gas comes from Allen Avenue, from Plan North, and electric also comes from Elizabeth Street Extension. There is the Norwich Public Utilities. Their water main does loop through the site. It does connect from Elizabeth Street Extension to Allen Avenue, and the existing school does have a lateral off that. I think that's all I have for existing.
So here's the proposed improvements, and in very similar fashion to Moriarty, the new school building will be centralized on the site. There'll be new access drives and separate circulation areas for the buses and then parent drop off. The building will have accessible walkways throughout the exterior. New playgrounds and similar size and fashion to the previous ones we showed, and new stormwater features. And again, the reason we're here tonight is we have activities in the upland review, and with this one, we do have direct wetland activities, which Megan will speak to shortly. Again, in the same fashion as before, we've received review memos from the city engineer, and we've been working with him and Dan to address all comments. And we're certain these comments received will be addressed to the satisfaction of the city. I will be going back to Austin now so he can discuss the new stormwater system.
Thanks. As you will see, once again, we color the different utilities in the same fashion. The critical one, of course, is stormwater in orange, and water is blue, sanitary is green. So for this site, we are, once again, there's no increases. We are matching or decreasing for peak runoff rates for the 2 through 100-year storms. And we are trying to match existing watersheds as well. As you can see, we have two main main items of the stormwater system. That is the stormwater basin right there. And then we once again have a retain it underground system. So the stormwater basin kind of captures the upper portion of the site, kind of behind the school to the rear of it, which is kind of elevated compared to the front of the school. That captures some of the roof drainage from the building, along with these play fields and anything that comes off this slope off site that drains onto the site. This basin is approximately 5 feet deep. We do have a stone berm kind of create a sediment forebay, and the main discharge of this basin is a outlet control structure, which will discharge to a riprap level spreader. The riprap level spreader has been designed to keep stormwater popping up and over the curb less than 2 feet per second, which is kind of the erosive velocity. So we're trying to really maintain, when water does come out, it's coming out in a calm fashion. The underground retain it system is 140 units, sorry. And once again, it has a similar feature of a isolator row or a water quality filtration row for water quality purposes. And this captures the remaining portion of the roof drainage for the building along with the front parking area. And this really does a lot of work, and we are connecting to the existing 24-inch RCP on site. So that way, because that RCP is basically the start of the intermittent water course right there, so we don't want to touch it. So we are using that existing flared end and a portion of that pipe, so that way we are not touching it. It's staying in place. For the water quality features on site, I talked about the water filtration row in the underground. We also, right up gradient of that, we have a hydrodynamic separator, which should catch sediment, oil, stuff, trash, and items like that. Also, the basin has been designed to provide some water quality. Of course, the stormwater system, in terms of runoff rates, water quality, we meet the Connecticut Deep 2024 Stormwater Quality Manual. We are working, as Kevin said, with the city engineer on his comments and adjusting where need be, but I do believe we feel pretty confident that we should be able to stay within the footprint that we show, and we shouldn't have an increase in upland review area activity. Based on his comments, we should be able to accommodate those. If we jump over to the sediment and erosion control plan. So once again, it's colored just to kind of make things pop a little easier. A lot of standard features here. We have, as you can see, for the stormwater basin, we are putting a sediment trap there, along with a sediment trap over our underground system. Our underground system won't be installed when that trap is there. That will come after, and it will kind of adjust as the project adjusts. As Jim and Kevin mentioned before, same as Moriarty, the new school will be constructed right behind the existing school, so the two schools will be operational kind of at the same point. So the sediment and erosion control plan, along with the stormwater, have been designed to kind of meet those different phases of the project. When the two buildings are up, when the existing one's getting demoed, while the new school is fully operational. So you will see a sediment trap kind of near the main entrance. That trap won't be utilized the whole time. That will be for when the existing school is getting demolished, and that new parking lot is being reshaped and reformed, kind of to how it is right now. A lot of standard features. We also have silt fence and hay bales right up gradient of the eastern wetland corridor. Those are right along the limit of disturbance. That is to kind of be our last line of defense and really capture anything that these two traps don't capture. And it will kind of be a kind of massaged or moving throughout the construction phases on the sediment plan. But a lot of features on here will be there throughout construction and will be adjusted as construction goes, and depending on impervious surfaces throughout construction and how much sediment there is. I guess I will pass it back to Kevin and Megan.
Yep, and I'm just gonna pass it right off to Megan.
Sure thing. Hello again, my name is Megan Fogarty, SLR, wetland professional in training, filling in for Matt Sanford, professional wetland scientist, registered soil scientist. So this is our map. If you adjust your perspective a little bit, this is north facing up now. So this is the southeast corner of the property. And we have 3 primary wetland systems, as well as, I'm sorry, yes, 3 wetland systems and 2 intermittent water courses, occupying a total of about half an acre on the site. There is some broad differences between the functions and values of some of these wetlands. As you can see, starting off, wetland A is in the middle of existing athletic fields, and it is consistently mowed, maintained as lawn. There's actually a catch basin at the northern end of it. It provides very little in terms of functions and values. It's more of a stormwater feature, possibly created unintentionally, and is very limited in terms of its ecological value. If you've already seen the plans, you'll know that that is one of the areas impacted. So, but I will move on to wetland B for now. That is the upper portion of the larger wetland system on site. It was seemingly historically modified to grade the existing school. It appears to be ditched, channelized, created more linear to better convey water off of the athletic fields to the east and west into this intermittent water course. So that transition into the water course, it becomes less disturbed, fewer invasives, less anthropogenic debris, which is pretty common in wetland B. There's some large poles with concrete on them and chip bags and soda cans. So as you move downstream, it becomes more natural, you would say. So Wetland C is the highest functioning wetland on the site. It's comprised predominantly of native wetland vegetation. If you look through our soil report, it has numerous functions and values that the others don't have. And that had become the priority in the design after this delineation to preserve that and enhance that actually to the greatest extent possible. So to move on to existing conditions, I think we have another image here. So as I alluded to, there is wetland impact on this site. It was unavoidable, especially while keeping the existing school online while this one is constructed. So there are two impact areas, one being the entire wetland A, which is 2,321 square feet. Again, that's maintained as lawn, very little ecological function. Actually, no wetland plants at all. It's grass and clover. And the second area of disturbance will be filling the northwestern portion of wetland B, and that's the upstreammost portion that is currently adjacent to the existing athletic field, and it collects trash and debris and is pretty dominated by invasive vegetation. That being said, it is a wetland impact, and we are responsible for compensating for that to the best of our ability. And so we have over on the right side of the screen here a 2,150 square foot wetland mitigation area proposed, and that will be to enhance wetland C, and that's again the most ecologically valuable resource on site, where we can there's an opportunity for enhancing it, and so the mitigation area will be created through grading to intercept groundwater, topsoiling, screened topsoil, and planting and seeding with native wetland vegetation to eventually mimic and introduce new native species to wetland C, and increase the capacity for it to perform those functions and values that it already does. And with that being said, I think I will turn it back over to Jim. Thank you.
Okay, thank you again, Megan, and thanks to the commission for your time and attention. Again, we're happy to answer any questions that you may have for our team.
You again, Brandon?
I just want to make a note, that was a challenging feat for you guys. I can see just by looking at that. And I think you've actually improved the quality of the wetlands, all said and done. So good job.
We appreciate that.
Dean, any questions, any comments? Chris?
No questions. Again, great presentation. I know it might be the most challenging site since there actually is a wetland impact, but I think a good job in terms of mitigation and keeping everything good.
Pete?
Nope, it looks good to me.
Is there a motion to approve or disapprove?
If I can just go through my memo real quick.
Yes.
I would agree with all your comments. We've been working with the team all along. The city engineer has some comments. I have some pretty boilerplate comments here. Just ask that they be included in any motion for approval, and to waive the reading of it here. And the proposed ENS controls are sufficient to protect the wetlands on site that are worthwhile.
to approve IWWCC 25-07 with staff comments.
Pete, second.
There's a motion on the table. All in favor?
Chris, I.
Annabelle, I.
Pete, I.
Dean, aye. Brandon, aye.
Unanimous, so approved. Thank you very much, everyone.
Again, thanks for your time this evening and your attention. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
New business. IWWCC number 250889 Canterbury Turnpike.
Yes, this is a proposed 12 lot subdivision that runs on Canterbury Turnpike and BB Road. I would just note that if commission feels they want to have a site walk, if we could schedule it tonight, I'd be appreciative. Sometime in the future between now and the next meeting. But if you don't, then that's.
You think, in your professional opinion, it warrants it? What's the potential disturbance area?
I really haven't had a chance to do a deep dive on it yet. There's a few lots that have no wetlands whatsoever, and there's a few lots that have wetlands. Just off the top of my head, I think the way it's laid out will have some impacts, but not extensive impacts. It's a tough site to get around on foot for a site walk.
Can we bring it up on Google Earth?
Sure, give me one sec.
There's areas that don't show as well, but they are pretty silent. Don't show it.
So it's this property here. Yeah, the overlay doesn't show it exactly. It's this property.
That lower area.
That's right here.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's a weird lot. So the way they've carved out 12 lots from this.
Underground utilities buried too, that are not just, so if you go down to the southern part of the, yep. Is there any utility overlays? No, it's not available in this.
I don't have it here, but I
It's
think
rated, yep,
Algonquin comes through here.
exactly. And then down even further is a frontier, right at the very, it doesn't show it, but there's a frontier buried line. And that very southern part as well.
So I spoke with the applicant's engineer earlier today, and he said that they brush hogged out some areas to do survey work. And not to dissuade you one way or another, but it's not the easiest site to get around. So if you want to do a site walk, I think it could require a little bit of planning coordination. So pick a date that works for everyone. I can get working on it staff wise.
I'd be up for it. I don't want to make extra work for everybody, but I think it's important to see what the site looks like versus what the overlays that the city has. It's an old property. I don't think it's been updated in terms of overlay. It's my personal.
Dean, any thought?
Oh, if I think people want to walk it, we should walk it.
Yeah, okay. Consensus appears that we should walk the site.
We have any
Dates in
general
mind?
idea?
Weekends, weekdays? Anybody have?
I mean, I would just say for my availability, probably a Saturday or something like that.
Saturday morning?
Mhm.
So the next meeting is September 4th.
Right. Would have to be before then.
I can either do this coming Saturday morning or Saturday morning of Labor Day. I'm going Saturday between. So I could do the 16th, I guess it would be, or the,
Okay, so not the 9th, you're saying the 16th?
I could do the 16th morning or the 30th morning. I can't do the 23rd.
16th would be good for me, Chris.
Consensus seems to be the 16th of August.
Time?
To be
8:30, 9 o'clock, earlier.
9 o'clock sounds good. 9.
Over.
9 o'clock, okay, it is.
I will work on that with them and send you an email tomorrow, hopefully.
Very good.
Does someone want to make a motion to receive?
To
the table?
receive this application.
I move to accept.
Is there a second?
Pete second.
Application on the, motion on the table, all in favor?
Chris, I.
Pete, aye.
Annabelle, I.
Dean, I.
Brandon, I.
Unanimous, so moved. Other business,
Nope, nothing at all?
violations,
Nope.
a move to adjourn.
So moved.
Pete, motion to adjourn.
Annabelle, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Hearing none opposed, unanimous, so moved. Thank you, everyone.